So I feel like everything that come to me, I deserve it. Taking no shorts, no cheating.
The beat made understand it's on the planet as a man I can't get in. Nevertheless I'm going on and on. I've been thinking, yes I understand it's on the planet as a man I can't get in. Nevertheless I'm going on and on. I've been thinking maybe I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I've been feeling like the motherfucking man. I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I've been feeling like the motherfucking man.
It's been a long time coming. The industry ain't ready for some, but now you see they criticize for nothing about dreams on being a star. Steady debating, will he get this far?
What's up, Kelly?
Then you get this car.
How was your week?
Keep your eye on the prize. You should know only the strong survive. Yours and mine. Life is kinda hard in this world we in. Don't pay attention to the money you spend. Over again, do fine until it hit us with some government taxes. Wonder why how your car be maxed.
Just sharing and making sure that we're up.
So you hate to admit it. Got more problems if the company did it. Mind your business won't change for no one. You better take it and heed. The storyline is what the paper would read. Indeed, thank God for all the blessings that He given to me. It's going down. We making history. History.
I understand it's on the planet as a man I can't get
Busy with work, yeah. I was busy too. I'm tired. I've had a long week.
Yes, I understand it's on the planet as a man I can't get in. Nevertheless, I'm going on and on. I've been thinking maybe I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I've been feeling like the motherfucking man. I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I've been feeling like the motherfucking man.
These streets that made me feel like nothing can fade me. Why talk? You never make it. These haters are crazy. Don't believe, and maybe if you want me to pay me. Little dream to be the greatest like Pop and Jay-Z from the hood. For the fans was feed my baby. Step aside. I'm taking over the globe. You will see. Screaming Zoneboy for life. That's all I will be. Won't change. Yeah, I'm telling you
So
now.
come in. When you come in, click share. We have our special guest, Prophet, waiting. We listening to his music. His song is called I Deserve It. And I'll let everybody come in. When you come in, click share, like, and say hello and how's your week?
You get tired of the drama, throw away your heat. Same reason why these critics just unleash the beast.
I understand it's on the planet as a man I can't get in. Nevertheless, I'm going on and on. I've been thinking, yes, I understand it's on the planet as a man I can't get in. Nevertheless, I'm going on and on. I've been thinking maybe I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I've been feeling like the motherfucking man. I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I've been feeling like the motherfucking man.
Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the Dr. Dare Show live on Facebook and YouTube. We have our special guest. Hey, Nikita, right? You deserve it, right? I love that song, Prophet. So we have our guest, Prophet. That was his song, I Deserve It. We're going to let him introduce himself. But when you first come on, make sure that you click like, share, and let me know how your week has been. Welcome, Nikita. Long time no hear from on here. Kelly. So, Prophet, how was your week? You can go ahead and just say hello and let us know how it is. And you just told me where you were. Where I forgot that quick.
I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Cold weather.
How's your week been so far?
I can't complain. Working, working, hard working.
Yep, that's our life, right? That's it.
That's the only way.
Yep. So when you come in, click share, click like. We're going to be talking about the life, the system, and the struggle and the music of Prophet. We're going to let him introduce himself and give us a little background of his life. We usually start at 8:40 Eastern time, so we give people a chance to come in from work and working out and all of that stuff. Um, yeah, yep. And so the whole month of March, the Dr. Dare Show, we have guests for each week. So this month is like flying by because I've been just scheduling. People have been reaching out, wanting to come on the show. So that's a good thing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it is a good thing.
yep. But you know what, Prophet, you're the first musical guest I have on here. So
Wow,
that's
I,
that's
I feel special.
good. So we got Kelly out there. She's a you see her, Kelly Colin. She's a rapper, she's a photographer, all of
Okay.
that stuff. So she's probably gonna be
Hello.
throwing you some questions your way. She does interviews actually. Art. I'm not gonna screw up her brand. Kelly, type your brand out on here. Art to artist. I think art to artist. So she goes around and she does interviews. Um, hey Karen, there you go. So you can check her out on Instagram.
Okay.
There she is, right? I put her stuff up there. And Prophet, hey Karen, how are you? How was your week? Let us know how things are going. Thank you for joining. So yeah, if you check Kelly out on Art to Artist right there on Instagram, she interviews rappers and artists, and she's an artist.
Okay.
So
I appreciate everybody joining in.
yes, we're glad you're here to share your experience, your story, your music. Um, yeah. So we'll just give everybody. We got 2 minutes before we actually start. I know people join in a little late. Karen says, "I'm good. Um, I'm good. Thanks for asking. I had a decent week. All right.
That's
So, Prophet,
good.
you see that up there? You can see because
Yeah,
that's where questions are going. Okay, good.
yeah,
Okay,
I see it.
okay, perfect. So glad you're here this week. We missed you last week, but we just kind of made up. I made up a question, and we all kind of just discussed what was blocking. What did we feel like our struggle was in our lives at the moment? And a lot of
Right.
people were saying like fear and just trying to get out of their comfort zone. It was a struggle for most people. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I do apologize for any inconvenience, but it's been kind of rough. Been dealing with some deaths, so have to
yeah,
deal with that. So, but I'm here now. You know.
yeah, and we understand that. Yep. And I do a lot of videos on grief and loss and death and all from that mental health perspective. So I know that's a tough journey, especially when it just starts, when it just happens, you know. And Karen says to your guest, I'm happy to see you tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. Yep. Kelly says condolences.
Thank
Yep.
you. Thank you, Kelly.
Okay. So we are at our mark where I get started because I know sometimes we'll get over our little time. So again, welcome our guest Prophet. Um, he has joined us tonight to discuss the life, the system, and the struggle and the music. I played a little bit of his music, a song called "I Deserve It." I got some questions on that song. Um, he's gonna. If you want me to share any other links, I have that up, Prophet. So just let me know if there's a song you really want me to share. Um, later on. But right now, I'm going to give you the floor, let you introduce yourself, and um, let the people know about you and your life journey and how you got to where you are right now.
Well, if you're not already a fan, become one. You already know what it is. This profit. I'm in the building. I appreciate everybody for joining in. I appreciate you too, Frederick, for even having me, on the show. I really appreciate that. The support and the love that I've been getting.
I'm glad that you're here. Glad that you're here.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
link.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the link. Yep. Okay, Prophet. So it's yours. You have the floor to kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, um, your life, the system, and the struggle.
Well, basically, I was born and raised in a small tourist town, South Haven, Michigan. Not too far from Chicago. We close to Ben Harbor. In that area. I was always born in Michigan.
Hmm.
In and out of foster homes. My mom, she gave me and my brothers and sisters up at an early age. So, it took a long time for me to, know who she was, and things like that or whatever. But
Hmm.
you know, God had a plan for me, you know what I mean? So I just had to, deal with it, you know,
Hmm.
juvenile homes, boys' homes, things like that. So, it was a, struggle. I know a lot of people say, they got it out the mud or whatever, but
Hmm.
that's like really, really, getting it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? From being homeless to, I can being stabbed, I can go on and on, you know,
Wow.
hustling in the streets, things
Hmm.
like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I just I'm thankful from where I'm at right now. I'm
Hmm.
very thankful. You know what I mean?
So do you know your adopted? Do you know your biological mom or?
Yes, I do know my biological mom, and I try to, have a relationship with her. I try to have a relationship, with my biological siblings and things like that or whatever. You know,
Hmm.
it's been a struggle. It's been hard, but I'm still trying to reach out. You know what I'm saying? My
Yeah.
mom, she was struggling, with drugs and things like that, and now she finally quit cold turkey, and so I'm just thankful for that. So whatever God got planned for me, I'm just I'm ready for it.
Okay. Are you close to your biological sisters and brothers, or y'all kind
Yeah,
of?
we trying to build a relationship. We trying, things
Okay.
like that. My second oldest sister, she always stayed in contact with me, even during the whole process, and things like that. So that was good.
Good.
I always knew about them. It
Hmm.
just I didn't know enough, but I always knew that I had, a brother, sisters, things like that because my adopted family, just gave me the history on what was really, really, going on and, what happened, because, I experienced that, at a young age, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Very,
Hmm.
very young age, so
So how do you feel like the adoption impacted your life growing up? Like, did you
um
always like question, you know,
I
where
always
mom?
I always had a question. You know what I'm saying? Um I was bitter.
Hmm.
I was real bitter for a long time, and I just, like anybody, that will get separated, from, their family or whatever, they're always gonna, have those questions on, why or why you know,
Mhm.
this happened, you know, and things like that. And, you know, I don't want to question God and, you know, because it's a purpose for everything.
Right.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You know, so but it was hard. It was hard
Mhm.
for a long time, a very,
Mhm.
very long time. But, you know, I got through it. You know, I'm still trying to deal with it. You know, I'm still trying to, you know, build a relationship, you know, with them, you know, and things
Mhm.
like that. That's why, you know, I put all my heart and soul and, you know, my tension and everything into my music. I put it into my
Okay.
music,
Okay.
which
So
which you
before,
hear, which you hear it in my music. You know what I mean?
right. Right. So how was living in in the adopted family? How was that life? Like, was
Well, you
that
know, it was it was it was all right. You know, tough love. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know, she was an Indian. You know, things like that or whatever. So you know, she was real strict. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You know, very, very strict. You know, I had to get, you know, certain, you know, grades in school and, you know, I got discipline like, man, it was tough, you know, but
Mhm. You're here.
here I am today. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So the biggest question that I want to ask is, how do you feel like being adopted and all of that stuff? How did that impact you to music? But first, how did you get into music?
Well, I was born into family, a music family or oriented family anyway. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. My actually my biological mom, you know, she sang. My sister, she sang. My granny, she
Excuse me.
sang. You know, things
Mhm.
like that. So you know, I did a little bit of it or whatever, but that wasn't my forte. You know what I'm saying? You know, I
Mhm.
branched into the rapping, you know, and things like that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I started while I was in the juvenile home. You know, I used to write, you know, poems and things like that, and you know, the staff and the residents, you know, the staff used to put it on, you know, the speaker where everybody can, you know, hear me, and I used to just, you know, freestyle in, you know, in my cell. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
everybody
Mhm.
was like, "Man, you got something going on." You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I just that's how I started. You know what I mean?
Good. So what was that music? What did that mean to you? And I think that's Kelly's question here is, where would you be without your music to express yourself?
Well, I would still be, you know, good regardless, you know, even without the music because, you know, I got God. You know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
know, where without Him, in any, you know, anything would be possible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, so
Right.
I gotta foremost, you know, give Him the utmost, you know, respect. You know what I'm saying? Because you know He got me through it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? He he
How did
he
you
got me
find
through
how did you establish that connection with God? Like, where did when did
it.
that
Well,
happen?
well, my adopted family, they was Baptists.
Okay.
So I had to go to church and things like that. You know, I'm not a Christian or nothing like that, but you know, I do believe in God. You know what I
Right.
mean? You know, so but yeah, they was Baptist. So, you know, I had to go to Sunday school. I had to, you know, go to church, you know, and things like that. I had to, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know, so
Mhm.
they installed that in me. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I'm kind of happy that they did. You know.
Okay. And so how did you end up in the juvenile home? Like, do you want to share that or
Yeah, you know, I was wild and reckless, you know,
Mhm.
just like, you know, any other kid, you know what I'm saying, running with the wrong crowd, you know, doing things you are supposed to be doing, you know, things like that or whatever. So, you know, I
Mhm.
was, you know, I was wild, you know, I was a rough kid, you know.
Yep, no judgment here. We've all had something in our backgrounds growing up, or did something we shouldn't have been doing. So, but how did you get out of that? How did you, get to where you are now?
Just prayed and
Prayed. Okay.
did what I was supposed to do to to get up out of there. You know, and
Mhm.
that's with any situation. You know what I mean?
Yep. Okay. So when did you do your first what was your first rap? What was your first
My first rap. Well, actually, I started when I was like about 13,
Wow, okay.
14, something like that.
Mhm.
Me and my cousin, Ruben, recognized that's his his stage name. My auntie, she bought us a DR5. It was a small, beat machine,
Mhm.
and we just used to, be upstairs and, making beats and, and writing songs and, and things like that or whatever,
Mhm.
and that's how I started. We was the first ones, from our hood to, to come out, with some, on wax, you know what I mean?
Okay. So
And
Kelly
then
asked the okay.
Five's studio album, I was with a group called Versatile. It was me, my cousin, and
Mhm.
some other guys, out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. You know,
Mhm.
um, we had something going, real good, and dropped a couple of singles, and they dropped the album and things like that. And I was just fortunate enough to even be a part of something like that. Because they sold like 10,000 copies underground, and Sony caught an eye on that, and they
Uh-huh.
was trying to, sign us around that time. You know what I'm saying? So you know I've been putting in some work.
Okay. And I think you mentioned something like that in the song I Deserve It,
Yeah.
cuz you talked about the industry trying to sign you, but they wanted yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the industry, they different. You know what I mean? Either you gonna trust somebody or you ain't gonna trust them.
Mhm.
Somebody. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta watch out. For the snakes and the janky promoters and and the 360 deals and and everything what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And some artists don't talk about it, but I'm the type of artist that I like controversy. You know what I'm saying?
You say you do.
I do because I'm not scared, to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Some might be, but I'm not.
Mhm. Mhm. Good. So Kelly says, "Who are some of your influences?"
Tupac, Scarface, Ti, just to name a few.
Just in it. Okay.
Eight Ball, Rick Ross. I'm a storyteller, so I can relate to those you know
Those
different
artists.
influences. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. So the first lyrics on your song that um, cause I played it like over and over again to
Okay.
get a to get the vibe on there. Oops, did I just hold on. It says hard work and dedication wasn't nothing handed to me. Oh, sorry, I clicked something. There we go. Yeah, it wasn't handed to me. Everything that comes to me, I deserve it. No shorts or cheats. What does that mean to you?
I know I ain't taking no shorts. I'm not cheating my way
Mhm.
into nothing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna grind for everything, everything. I'm gonna work hard for everything. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just,
Mhm.
I've been through so much. I just feel like everything that's coming to me. Right now, I just feel like I do deserve it. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm. So what would you tell some a young person that's in the system right now, what words of encouragement would you give them, um, if you had the opportunity to speak before them?
Basically, I just tell them to, you know, stay focused, keep God first. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Do whatever you can to, get out that situation and never look back ever.
Mhm. Mhm.
And just hang around the right people. You know, it's gonna be hard, but hang around the right people.
Mhm. So how did you, because I've worked with people who were adopted, and it seems like they're always searching for, their family or that unanswered question. Um, how did you cope with that? How did you manage? Did your adopted parents help you connect with your biological mom, or how did you connect with? How did you
They
handle?
they did, but they didn't. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I can say that.
Okay.
I guess they had their reasons. My dad, he was, in and out. He was in the military. Things like that. And now, he's in prison right now. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So, it was just hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can imagine. I know a lot of adopted kids feel, they struggle with abandonment, like feeling like, they were just like abandoned in life. And I know that's hard to kind of push through life knowing that is your thought process. And so what was music for you? Was that like your coping mechanism? Was that the way you handled all of that?
Oh yeah, that's how I vent.
Mhm.
That's how I vent. And I take everything out on my music. You know what I'm saying? What I'm going through, what somebody else going through, what I see, what's going on in the world, things like that. I write about it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm. So the audience out there, do y'all have any questions for Prophet? Excuse me. I don't know why I have the words. Angela says, "Wow, what a wonderful testimony." Yeah, and that's why I was asking, like, what recommendations or advice would you give young people? Because some people give up, so fast because they've been through a lot of stuff. It's like, and they don't feel like the title of your song, they don't feel like they deserve anything. So then they just stay, and they stay where they're comfortable. They stay where there's trouble and, crime and all of that stuff, versus trying to reach for, because everybody deserves it. I don't care what background you came from.
Exactly.
Everybody deserves a good life. And
Exactly.
and what suggestions would you tell someone? I know one
Exactly.
thing is your connection with faith and God and all of that stuff.
Right. That's always gonna be there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Without him, things wouldn't be possible. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's part of that should be a part of everybody's life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Put him first. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's a lot of these artists, that be at these awards and winning these Grammys and things like that, and
Mhm.
you seldomly hear them say, "First, let me thank God."
Right.
Seldom.
Right.
You seldomly hear that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That should be the
Mhm.
first thing. Then you thank everybody else.
Right. But see, what if they were raised in a family where they weren't introduced to God or established that relationship? Because a lot
Okay.
of people, yeah, a lot of people aren't.
Yeah, I can understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't, degrade nobody for, not, knowing him, and things like that or whatever.
Mhm.
I don't degrade nobody, and things like that. Everybody have, their different beliefs and different religions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
But
that's what it is.
I'm glad you're on the show, and I'm glad you're telling everybody out there about your relationship with God, and that's how you made it through all the stuff, all the stuff that you've went through. So thank you for sharing that
Yeah,
relationship with.
yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely. But it's and another thing, a lot of people ask me, well, where did you get your name from? Why do you call yourself prophet? So I'm gonna give you a little
Good
insight.
question.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you a little insight on where I got my name from. I got my
Okay.
name. Actually, I got my name from a preacher. Her name was Pastor Davis. Rest her
Okay.
soul. She's dead and gone. But
Mhm.
she was real close to my family, things like that. And I used to go to her church like every now and then. I was cool, with her, her son, and things
Mhm.
like that or whatever. And he used to tell me all the time, man, you need to come to church one day. Just come. So one day I decided to go. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and take you up on that offer. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
went to church one day, and I was just sitting there, and she was preaching so good, something just came over me for some reason. I don't know what it was, but
Mhm.
you know, I went on the pulpit, I opened up the Bible, and I never forget. I read Psalms 23, the Lord's Prayer, or whatever, and then I started just preaching the word for some reason. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And
wow.
when I got off the pulpit,
Mhm.
and at the end of the service, she pulled me to the side and she was like, "Man," she was like, "You know what?" She like, "You did that like a prophet." She was
Wow.
like, "You did that like a real prophet." You
Mhm.
and she was like, "You know what? I think you should take that name and ride with it." So that's how
Wow.
I got my
How
name.
how old were you
So
when that
so
happened?
so I spell it Profit, and I didn't want to spell it, Prophet. I didn't want to spell it like that because I don't want to disrespect any religions or anybody's faiths or things like that, because I'm not a preacher, and I'm not a prophet, but I'm giving you some knowledge and understanding as a prophet would. You get it?
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yep. So we got a couple of questions out here. How old were you when you had that experience with the
I want to say about probably 19.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, 19, 20. Yep,
Okay.
about 19, 20.
So when you were at church, were you searching for something, or was this just uh your regular going to church and this experience just happened, or were you searching? Were you at that age,
It,
19?
it,
Because
it just happens. It
gotcha.
happens. Sometimes certain preachers can, touch you, and
Right.
you can feel like they actually really, really talking to you, but they're
Mhm.
really talking to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Okay. Yep. So we got a question on the board. How old were you, from Karen? How old were you when you were adopted?
I want to say 6 months to a year old.
Oh wow. Okay. And then Kelly says, "Do you have time to mentor youth in your area?"
I always wanted to do something like that. That always been my passion. I always said, I always wanted to, go back to the juvenile home where I was at, or any, juvenile home, and just, try to, mentor, the youth, and just let them know, my type of experience, what I had, and what they can do to overcome, what they're going through. I
Right.
always wanted to do that.
Good. Yeah, because you do have a good testimony, and like I said, I've worked with adopted kids, and sometimes early on they're a little lost, like they don't know what to do or where to go. So you would be a perfect role model to kind of mentor that population. Good question. Yeah. So, what is the theme of your music? If you had to look at all your music that you've done so far, what is the theme of that? Like, what is the big message in your music?
Just different life experiences, what everybody going through. You know what I
Okay.
mean? The trials, the tribulations. What's going on in the world. Things like that. Whatever I feel or how I feel, that's what I'm gonna write about.
Okay.
Or what I see, or just anything. I might just sit and be watching TV or something, and something might pop up on TV, and oh, okay, I think I might need to write about that.
Mhm. Okay. So I'm looking through some of your topics. Any other questions out there y'all have? I was pulling up your topic, your titles. Okay. Tell us about I don't care. That's another topic, another song title.
I don't care.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you feel that way. You just don't care what people think about you or how they feel about you. You just gonna do what you need to do, what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like I just needed to write something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I think in society we do care about people's opinions. I actually just did a video. We care too much about people's perceptions of us, and so
Exactly.
we focus so much on that we don't actually live our lives and become the people that we're supposed to become.
Right.
Okay, and
Because people gonna judge you regardless.
regardless, yep. I always say that I don't care if you do something bad or good, somebody's always going to say something and always judge you. So we got a couple of questions. Karen says, "Are you still in Michigan?"
Yes, I am.
And Kelly says, "Do you have any upcoming shows?"
Actually, I do. I have a show that's coming up March 18th in Gary, Indiana.
Okay. Okay. And Angela says, "You are a miracle."
And tell her I said thank you.
Yep. Oh, she hears you.
Well, thank you, Angela. I appreciate it.
And so Kelly says, "How did the pandemic affect you?"
Probably affect me as it would affect everybody else. You know what I mean? We couldn't do nothing. And for
Yeah.
a virus like that to, the shutdown, the world like that
Yeah.
is crazy.
Did you write about that in any of your music? Did you have you captured that?
Actually, my next project that I'm working on right now, I'm talking about that and a few more, things, what I'm
Mhm.
saying, what's going on, far as, the pandemic, you know, police brutality, you know what I mean, white
Mhm.
supremacy, just to name a few.
Mhm. Got some more questions here. What would you say is the Michigan rap scene like?
It's a lot of talent here. It's a lot of talent in the Midwest.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You know, far as the new artists, um, they're not really talking about too much of nothing. It's not a lot of lyrical content. It's not enough messages in their lyrics and things like that or whatever.
Mhm.
It's a lot of basically the same thing. They talk about the lean. They talk about you know um, the guns, and things like that. I just feel like it's more to that than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more to life than just those
I
things.
think you should be versatile. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
try to, talk about, something else instead of, the same thing. Don't get me wrong. I don't, not what they do. If that's what they do,
Hmm.
it's what they do. But I'm different. I'm in my own lane.
Because you're sharing life experiences and how to help people get out. Okay, good. Let's see what else we got.
But I got something for everybody though. Don't get me wrong. If you want a club song, I can write a club song. Hey, don't test me now. I can get it in on any subject.
I gotcha. So have you ever worked with any other artists like big artists like Ti or any of the ones that you named? I thought I
Well,
saw
well,
that somewhere.
actually, I haven't, but
Hmm.
I have been signed before. I was signed with Empire Distribution 2000, 14, 2015. I put out my first studio album, which was
Hmm.
called Situations, with Empire, and I worked with John T. Brown. And for those that don't know who John T. Brown is, John T. Brown was Soldier Boy's manager, and he was my manager
Gotcha.
at the time. And then
Okay.
Ashley Burnett, she was, part of the management team as well around that time. She was a Bad Boy rep. She used to work for Bad Boy,
Okay.
things like that or whatever. So, far as my resume, you know, I got a nice resume. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And right
Good.
now, you know, hopefully if things, go well, I'll be signing, a contract, with Zerafaith Enterprises. Shout out to Angela Scott. Um, she the senior vice president, worked for NFT and 50/50 Music and Universal, things like that. So I got that in the works. I'm working with CEO of Zenich Energy Drink. I got that in the works.
Okay.
So I got a couple of things, that I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
So you working?
I'm trying. I'm trying.
You
I'm
doing it?
yeah.
So Karen says, what motivates you?
My kids.
Your kids. How many kids do you have?
I have 5 girls.
All girls.
All girls.
How is that? How is that just being a man and having all girls?
Man, you got beautiful daughters, it's hard, you know what I mean? But I I thank God for them. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm. Good. Okay. So I'm always putting the link up here. You go follow Prophet on Facebook. If you don't know how to follow him, go on my page and look at my friends, and he's there. You can find him that way. Angela
Also,
says, girls are a blessing." Go ahead, Prophet.
also you can follow me on Instagram, Prophet951. You can also follow me on Twitter, Prophet269.
Okay. Can you? Are
My,
you able to type? Are you able to type that into the chat?
let me see.
I think you should be able to.
I
Or if you
don't know.
say it slowly, I'll do it for you.
I don't know. Let me see.
Is it Prophet with the dollar sign in front?
Yes. Well, well,
Prophet. Not on.
not on the social medias. It's just Profit.
Okay. And then
The Instagram Prophet951, Twitter Prophet269. And then you can also find me on Facebook, Prophet Zonebound Spencer.
okay, so Prophet Instagram, is that right?
Yeah, Prophet951 Instagram and Twitter Prophet269. What's up, Myron? Budding Spectre. And hey, he was one of my one of my homeboys in the juvenile home, Myron. He just tuned in. You know, I appreciate the support. He was one of my guys in the juvenile home, you know, who I was, with. So yeah,
Well,
that's a blessing. I appreciate you,
welcome,
man.
Myron. Yeah.
Budding Spectre.
So did I do that Twitter right? Is that your right Twitter? Profit
Yep,
two
Prophet
six
two
nine.
six nine. Yep, that's right.
Okay.
And then, as far as my album is my environment is everywhere right now. You know, from Spotify to Apple Music to Tidal. You can get it everywhere.
Cool. Okay.
Stream it, share it, download it, buy it. You know, support. I
Yeah.
appreciate any support.
Make sure y'all support, and they're good about that. Everybody I've had on, usually somebody follows them, supports them, so that's a good thing. And I'm glad you're on here sharing your story. Story. Is there anything else that you feel like we should know about Profit
Just
that
I just want
maybe
to
we
give
haven't?
some shout outs. To my producer. T the God. You know, some people that's that's been in my corner. Things like that. Marvin Morris, Angela Scott, Eric Thomas, Travis Thomas, um, my whole city, South Haven, city of Grand Rapids, you
Hmm.
know, Kalamazoo, things like that. My family, my kids, I just want to, give a shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for that. And remember, y'all, share this video so people can, if they're not on tonight, they can go back and look at it and check it out. I put all the links and stuff there so that this there. Anything else? Any more questions for Profit before we close out the show? It was a pleasure. I'm glad you finally got on here. I'm glad that you reached out so that we could get you on here and you shared your story. Um, I'm always sharing and talking about different topics. So I'm glad you talked about the adoption and all the stuff that you went through, so that somebody that's listening out there who may be in a similar situation, they can see that there is a way out and that you can, no matter all the stuff that you've been through, you still can come out on top and make a good life for yourself. So yeah,
Well, I appreciate you having me.
yep,
I appreciate everybody for tuning in, supporting what I got going on.
yep. Karen says, I enjoyed hearing your testimony. Blessings to you.
Likewise.
Angela says, okay, appreciate the healing topic. All the best. Signing off. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. So, what we're going to end with, Prophet, I'm going to play your um, I Deserve It track. I've been playing that a lot, so it's kind of sticking. So,
That's good.
yeah.
That's good. Keep playing it. Keep sharing it. You know, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. Any support.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So, have a good weekend, and I will talk to y'all next week. All right. Thank you, Prophet, for coming on.
Thank you.
All right.